Well, alright, so this guy here, Steve Moore. Now, he took over the previous sheriff. I forget the guy's name, but um, they were, so to go super deep, you'd have to talk about the when they murdered my grandmother, which was 2013, August 12th. And basically, she got some kind of like weird illness. 2010, I believe, maybe 2009, on Thanksgiving. Her favorite day, by the way, right? So, anyways, she some type of like beyond explosive diarrhea. It's like on the ceiling and stuff. It was really weird. And they would drain bile from her like 3 liters every couple months. Didn't know what it was. Did every single test in the world. It stopped for a couple of years, and I guess it must have came back. We stopped going out there because of how my mom was being treated by her sister and stuff like that out there. Lives out in the River Club. And so she ends up dying. They make fake death certificates and all that stuff, you know. But before we really get into that, what led to that, the reason why she was picked was simply because the close friend, family friend Judy, was able to get a notary stamp, which you'll come to realize how important that is. So what they did was, before any of that, you've got other victims, like Georgina Muir, Mary Pearl, and Mary Pearl, which was also before. Yes, also before. So, and then there's some other victims I found because the phone's busted, but the pictures are on the other phone of crematorium plaques. Took pictures of all of them. And I found 3 that were still alive since the 80s, since like 85, I think, was the earliest one. And turns out it's a Social Security style scam and an identity theft scam. So they're using their identities to buy houses and move property around and that kind of stuff. None of those people had any kind of family members, so there wasn't anybody for me to contact. And of course, you do the controls where you look up every plaque, and everything was normal except the 3 that didn't have any quotations on it. So just the name, date of birth, and when they were, when their lives were taken. So it's stuff like that, and so they keep on doing this type of stuff. Uh, I don't know how many more victims because I only checked the one spot. I didn't go around looking at like other victims in another um, cemetery because I didn't think about it at the time. There's a lot of stuff going on, but I'm almost certain that there's more. Um, and this would have been 2018 when I did that because we got the FBI involved at January of 2018. And, so they do their thing. They're telling us all kinds of crazy stuff. This happened, that happened. This person's getting sued or this person has to, pay whatever. There's like restitution and all this kind of stuff involved. But what they were doing was, and this isn't isolated to just Tracy or San Joaquin. This also goes to Southern California, which may have been where this originated. There is an article. I'm going to have to go get that article and find it if I can. And if I can, then I'll post a link to that, and you'll be able to read what the guy found. It's like a reporter who found this, and he found out that there's 4 of the departments that also have sheriffs who are coroners as well. And that's kind of the important thing here, is that this guy was also a coroner, so that he could easily kill somebody or have somebody killed and then cover it up simply by using or making fake death certificates and stuff like that, because he is the coroner, right? So the hell. And so he was the coroner, and one of the things is that plus he was known for like chopping people's dead bodies' hands off for like identification purposes, which is pretty obvious that it's being used to probably for more identity theft, I'm sure. And they're not the originators of this, that's for sure. It might be it might have originated down in Southern California again, because there's 4 of the departments doing it as well. So I would imagine that if you were to go check those crematorium plaques that are associated with those departments, you'd probably find more victims, I don't know who they could have started doing this to after they got the notary stamp, but pre-notary stamp, everything was about finding people who didn't have family members, people that don't have anyone to come looking for them. That way you can do what they were doing. So having a sheriff / coroner, what makes that good is that he never has to obviously go to the scene, just pretend, write up a fake report. There's a fake deputy who was caught in San Jose Airport, I think March of 2018, something like that. He was trying to leave the country, dressed up as a fake deputy as well. So I'm not sure how he thought that was going to work. But so they got him. He was more than likely the guy carrying out the murders. More than likely. That's probably how they would have done it. And so you just bring it to the crematorium. I doubt they were chopping off their hands, but they could have been. I don't know. But so they cremated their victims. And then you got to remember that you're only going to find so many people who don't have family members before you start running out of victims, before you start running out of people to do this to. So the importance of going after Edna Faye Ender was that a friend. So the youngest daughter, Kim Archer, and the eldest daughter, Karen Archer, are in on it as well. To the extent Karen is, I don't know. Kim would have had to have signed off on this in order for this to have gone down. And so she definitely signed off on it. She's the apple of the eye, that could do no wrong, but she's also the loser, the nasty piece of crap human. She would get paid, and then go shopping, go out to eat, come home with a doggy bag, bags full of clothes, and the kids are starving. I remember when her eldest kid just freaked out on her one night because she did that, and my grandmother did everything she could to cover that up. Got mad at the kid, not the daughter. You know how that goes. Daughter could do no wrong. So the interesting part there is, so now she always wanted all the money, all the stuff. My mom was actually in charge of the estate, as per the will that my grandmother had drawn up and everything like that. So I'm sure that rubbed her the wrong way whenever she figured that out. Who knows when? But then what it was that the family friend, Judith, supposedly, this is according to the FBI, she was able to get a notary stamp. I guess she knew a guy who had one that had a tiny little imperfection, so he couldn't use it. And I guess he was just holding on to it, I guess, right? Yeah, exactly. I don't buy it either. But anyways, I think she just took the fall for him. But so what would have happened now, that's important here. The notary stamp is important. And what we'll do is we will start a new video about the notary stamp. And then I'll kind of explain the importance of that.